prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Yeah. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the win. And then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the win. And then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Yeah. They go county, they go state, they go fed. They go to trial with all that time over their head. And your honor got no honor, he wants you dead. And your right hand wants your side of the bed. It's a mess, I'm trying to tell you how real that it gets. Tell you how hard it hurts when you get hit.
You know what it is, we're gonna get right into this. Peace, bro, what's good, bro?
I'm good, man, I'm good.
Alright, can you state your name, man, for everybody out there real fast, man? I know time is limited.
Alright, my name is Joseph Lingo Stripland.
Alright, Joseph Lingo Strickland, man. Can you tell everybody where you reporting from right now?
From Green Haven Correctional Facility.
Okay, Green Haven Correctional Facility, Maximum State Correctional Facility. And can you tell everybody how long have you been incarcerated?
Going on 26 years.
Okay, 26 in. So, and how old are you?
44.
44.
40,
So,
I'll be 45.
okay, so you got locked up, what, like 18, 19?
19, yeah.
It's crazy. What kind of charge they got?
Murder in the first degree.
Murder in the first. Okay, and I know you actually. I know you. I told you before that I was going to, ask you, was it okay to mention your case, because I normally wouldn't just ask you. You know what I mean, your charge. So sometimes if it's something you want to talk about or not. But okay. So, what do you want to So your sentence, like, what kind of can you I guess briefly just walk us through your sentencing process, like how what I'm saying? You went to trial, was you copped out, or?
Well, yeah, I had a trial by jury.
Okay. And this was in New York, and it's in New York City, or?
Yeah, it was New York. Originally from the Bronx.
Okay, from the Bronx.
Yeah.
BX in the building. Okay, so so an 18, 19-year-old, and what year was this then? This was 26. What year was this? 1995. 19-year-old. And this was just one murder.
Yeah.
Okay, so why and how much time did they give you?
They gave me life without parole.
Yeah, for one murder. That's as a 19-year-old. Yeah, was it any what was like the circumstances around it? Was like
It was shooting slash robbery.
Oh, okay.
This all according to the police report.
Right.
What eventually I had got tried and convicted of.
Right. Was like what was like a murder and homicide and commission of robbery or something like?
Yeah.
Okay. Still, for 18-year-old, man, the rest of your life is it seems like a over sentence, and I mean I've seen people get less. Was this your first charge?
Yeah. It was my first felon conviction.
What kind of lawyer did you have? You had a paid lawyer?
Well, at first, they was trying to seek the death penalty, but at the time, Robert Johnson was the district attorney for the Bronx, and he didn't want to prosecute my case death penalty. So, the capital defender's office, because DA wasn't prosecuting, the DA DA wasn't going to prosecute my case, the death penalty case. I wasn't afforded to be represented by the Capital Defender's Office and all the other things that I would have been entitled to as a capital defender.
And why was that?
Yeah, because I wasn't actually facing the death penalty, even though I was being charged with that same charge, but they weren't seeking the death penalty. So the Capital Defender's Office, they didn't represent me at trial. So I never got afforded any of the privileges that one would have if I was facing the death penalty. So I basically had a regular 18B lawyer.
Right. This is crazy. I mean,
who in any way he was overloaded with cases, and he just didn't do an effective job at all.
yeah, because that's.
I mean, at my sentencing, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But at my sentencing, he only spoke. He didn't even speak for a whole page of transcript, and even the things that he said weren't even true, weren't accurate. He didn't do any investigation. He didn't call any of my family members to at least testify at sentence, to seek some kind of mitigating factors.
So it's 1995. So was this a house or was it a business place? A business? Was this an outside thing? What?
No, it was
It was on the street.
Yeah, it was on.
Okay.
The street.
Right. So, cause I'm just trying to figure out, like, like, I mean, death penalty. I mean, I know they want to kill young minorities in America, and I know the system has regard for our life. You know what I'm saying? And true rehabilitation. But it's just crazy. I mean, so I would think after this much time, I'm sure there's been some things that has come across, some loopholes that has come across the situation, because I believe, 26 years later, I know, life was lost, and I'm not saying, we shouldn't pay for our mistakes, but, at this time, and, in hopes of rehabilitation and saving a life and a young man, you know what I mean? I would think, and even, just looking at history, like, the death penalty is crazy, and then, life just seems like, that's too much. So I know you have been in the law library and stuff like that, looking at things and ways to cut, to get like a reasonable situation. I mean, I think it should be on by now. Really, 26 years is.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of litigating my case. I've put in for 40 motion.
Right. Okay.
So it all boiled down to, I believe, me being, you could say, a layman in the law, but also indigent.
Right.
Not having effective advocacy, not having a voice, being in silent, also being young and then wasting a lot of my time here, going in and out the box, not really being focused, concentrating on my case and getting out. So as I matured, though, and as I got older, I really.
No, that's real talk. Nah, that's.
Started. Now go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, bro. No, I'm just saying that's real talk, man.
Yeah, I started to worry about, me and aging in here. And I've been feeling trapped. Like, how am I gonna get out? I mean, I never attempted to avoid the truth about what happened. I wanted justice too. But justice only went one way, I believe.
Okay, yeah, exactly, man. We gonna pick back up at that on that at a later time, and behind the scenes we gonna talk, we gonna build on that. But yeah, like you said, yeah, and I respect your honesty, man. Because a lot of times, people, you know, don't know how to do those things, and then, you get caught up, and then what I mean, and into the insides, and then trying to adapt to life and living your life too as well. So what I mean, in that situation, so definitely understandable. But I'm glad, what I'm saying, that. So now, you know, is a fight. You went for a fight, but I feel like I believe, man, that freedom is at the end of that fight, man. So I don't know how much that lower library you got to beat up, but that just got to be a part of the routine for right now until you can grasp a hold on something. I mean, tangible and get where you belong, bro. Back on this side. But for the
Well,
meanwhile, you said what?
it's happening. I have
Yeah,
faith and hope from this thing going on right now.
definitely.
That
And we doing things like this. That's what I'm saying. Like so. In the meanwhile, we putting this out there. We everything. So this is another part of the evolution and another part of the process. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, man. I know we running low on time, so I just want to make sure I get into everything. Okay, so another quick question, I guess, about before incarceration, right? Do you think what could you say, right? Is maybe it was like
You have
one
1 minute left.
okay. Well, we gonna pause it right here, and what we're gonna do is pick back up from this point on next time because we already got our this happened to us the second time. So instead of starting all over again, I'll keep this part and we'll go back in. I guess just hit me. You can hit me tomorrow, bro, around early, yeah, and we can chop it up, bro. Appreciate you, man, and yeah, this platform is open, man, and gonna let
appreciate you
everybody
too.
know. Yeah,
All
man.
right. All right.
So you're not eligible for parole at all.
Yeah, not at all. It initially, well, it was only because Robert Johnson, the DA at the time in the Bronx,
Right.
he didn't want to prosecute death penalty, but even at that time, Giuliani and Pataki took him to court because they was trying to force him to prosecute death penalty in the Bronx. My only assumption is that he knew it was going to be a lot of young black kids on death row. So
Yeah.
that's why the death penalty was off the table at the time in the Bronx at that time.
But so moving along, that's something that we're gonna definitely be that's gonna unfold as we you know continue to communicate and grow and what I mean, converse together, man. So I wanted to ask you a few questions. I wanted to give the people some insight as well as giving you that voice. A lot of these young dudes too. Let them know, they can learn from our mistakes. Um, you know, because a lot of things are glorified that shouldn't be. You know what I mean? And so that's the focus of this basically. And so I want to ask you some questions. All right, so 26 years, maximum security prison, right?
Yeah.
Let's start this off. What is your first or what is your top five? Because you survived from
Yeah.
18 coming in there fresh to now grown man 44. I think we want to start this off with your top five jail survival tactics, man. Top five jail survival staples. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it. We're gonna do five.
I want to be honest with you, and since we're gonna have listeners, young kids listening to this, I don't want to seem like I'm glorifying. So the experience is an experience that you earn. And I would suggest that, or I would say, you don't want to earn this experience. So you want to end up in prison, you're going to have to find out the hard way. Because that's how I found out. I found out the hard way. So I want to leave that question in mystery, because I don't want to, I don't want to glorify, this prison thing.
Facts.
I want people to understand that this is not a place where you want to be at all. And if you come here, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out the hard way. The game is to be sold, not told. So,
and I respect that. I respect that. And I want, as me being here to give that voice, that's how it got to be. You know what I'm saying? So, that's your voice, and that's what you say. I stand by that as well. I can stand by that, and I appreciate that, because like I said, a lot of wrong things is being glorified. So let's start off like this, because that was powerful. So let us walk with you for a second, I guess, right? What's a day like with you? You know what I'm saying? What's a day like? What's your day like in there? What what you do for a job function? You know what I'm saying? Maneuver through the, what's your day? Just, let us walk with you, I guess.
I wake up in the morning. I try to turn my radio on, because I like music. I love music, and music it just sets the tone, sets a different atmosphere. Because basically you're waking up. There's only one side of the bed you're waking up. Like people always say, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Right.
I've been waking up on the wrong side of the bed for 26 years. There's only one side of the bed you can wake up, because your bed is always, nailed to the side of the wall.
Yeah.
So, I choose not to be angry and miserable. And listening to music helps. It's like therapy. It helps me with that. So as I wake up, I do the things that I've learned to do when I was a kid, like brush my teeth, wash my face. But it's like a living hell, because you live next door to individuals, even yourself, because they gotta smell your shit. You using the bathroom, and they using the bathroom, and there's no ventilation, no way. So when somebody takes a shit, you know it. And that's like torture. That's horrible. It's like drives me crazy. So you gotta light an incense, something like that, something, an air freshener, something. So that's how my morning begins. So I'm the clerk in the block, so I pretty much have a lot of responsibilities. Guys put a lot of trust in me, and I help a lot of people out in things that that they need, like soap, toothpaste, envelopes. And plus I'm a clerk, so I also work closely with the officers as well. So
right.
And in prison, having a position, a job like that, you gotta have morals, principles.
Right, you gotta have some integrity.
Integrity. Yep. Right, integrity. You gotta be, man, you gotta. You know what I mean? So, it's safe to say that I've earned the trust of everyone on both sides.
Right.
Because everyone know where I stand as a man. And I'm pretty sure you can understand.
Yeah, definitely. That's admirable, man. Like I said, man, from a young man to growing, man, it's crazy, because just lost somebody behind the wall, man. Who succumbed to the pressures, man. You know what I'm saying? And details ain't really come out yet, but I'm not sure if he took his own life or what. But so just to see you, standing strong and like I said, growing strong, in such a crippling environment. I commend you on that, brother. So let's take a step. Guess we're gonna take a step back. You say the music. How musically was you involved? How much was the music an inspiration before you got locked up?
I mean, I guess I was just like everyone else, listening to video music box, listening to tapes, watching videos and stuff like that. I grew up. I was raised, in hip hop era, early hip hop era.
Okay.
80s and like 80s baby. So, matter of fact, Chuck Chill Out, he's my next door neighbor. Funk Master Flex, I call him Junior. He used to break nights in my house. Like, this was the older crowd. This is my brother's friend. My brother, Flex, and the kid named Nan, Derek Easy, the rapper Nan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that joint. What you want, Nine? Mad beats for my rhymes. What you want, Nine? Yeah, I remember that. Mad clips for my Nine. Nah. You got me. You brought me back to the Nine song. I know who Nine is.
Yeah. So they had a rap group back in the day. So I was pretty much, around, around some
things.
Founders,
yeah.
some that were instrumental in. My brother was the one that started Flex out, and Chuck was was producing them and all that. So, and then my aunt Sylvia, who passed away, Sylvia Stripland, Biggie, he did a sample of her song in '95, and she got a writers award for that song.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but a lot of this stuff I wasn't really aware of or conscious. I can't say that. Honestly, I can't say I was musically inclined at all. I didn't know nothing about music or playing instruments. It wasn't until years later, now I'm in prison, I decided to change my life. And, I always was fascinated by the idea of playing the guitar, so that's what I did. I taught myself how to play guitar.
That's crazy, and that's just crazy because that just shows, sometimes, the I guess the universe, as they say, would have plans for us, and we can be sidetracked or and put our attention elsewhere and kind of derail those plans. But I think everything that's destined will come back around full circle. But we just make it so much harder when we be hard headed and when we don't follow our true path. And but it's hard to hear with the distraction, especially in the street with poverty and what we go through, because I know that because I've walked around like a zombie from The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? As far as being just ignorant, you know what I'm saying? I've walked like that, and it's like it's like somebody cut a light on in a dark room, man. Once that understanding hits you. But okay, that's dope. So, and which area was this? What block? What block was this? You said Funk Flex and all. I'm not sure that's Queens.
No, from Bronx.
Oh, that's Bronx. That's the Bronx. Yeah, that's a fact. Flex from the Bronx. That's a fact.
Uptown.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's dope. So, all right. So, okay, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Let me ask you another question from I guess back prior to incarceration. Prior to incarceration, I guess it's like a two-part question because I know in prison dudes make a lot of exquisite meals, out of minimum ingredients. You know what I'm saying? I done seen dudes bake a cheesecake, you know what I'm saying, like with a can on top of a stove, like you know what I mean? Make it in an oven type of thing. So the two questions is, right? What was your favorite food prior to going to jail? And then like now that you're in jail, like what's like the dopest concoction, I guess, or thing that you enjoy the most and they're fascinating or enjoy the most?
Well, tuna fish is my all-time favorite.
Okay.
When I was home, tuna melt.
I like tuna.
Huh?
I said I eat tuna. I like tuna too, so yeah.
Yeah, so even to this day, that's my all-time favorite.
Okay.
I mean, CD in prison, that's been my number one meal that I like to eat all the time. CD.
Big ziti?
Yeah.
How y'all baking the ziti? You gotta.
You can't bake it, but just a pasta meal like with sauce and cheese. And I mean, I've never seen this before, but like years ago, I used to get a cup of fruit cocktail and throw it in the sauce instead of like using sugar or anything like that. I throw a cup of fruit cocktail, throw it in the sauce. That's just some jail stuff that I came up with.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people might be intrigued by that.
Right. Nah, that's definitely, yeah. If it was good, there's some natural sugars too. That real fruit. So
Yeah.
that's better. It's more healthy. Yeah, that's dope. I done seen some things. Those I ain't gonna lie, I was always a fan of the burritos, man. Yeah, I had some brothers hooked up with some burritos and the cakes with the Snicker bar. They melt the Snicker bar using like the icing, put on the cake, man. Crazy. I know you touched on earlier about, getting that message across and not wanting to glorify certain things. I want to give you an opportunity to, just let your voice be heard and just, after reflecting, this could be so important. You know what I mean? Because a lot of young boys out here that's 18 right now. And the temperature of the culture right now is these 18-year-olds, man, they running around and they think it's the cool thing to do is take somebody's shit and take somebody's life, and they killing each other left and right, man. And you done been through this, you done did this, and you done suffered the consequences, man. And you know, for them to hear from you, they can't refute that. You know what I'm saying? They can say whatever to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But coming from you is golden, bro.
But I tell even when young dudes in here, when I see them, I tell them that if somebody who walked a certain path, if they tell you, go listen, if you go down that path, this is what's gonna happen. But if you go down this path, you're gonna be successful. And he's showing it to you. He's seeing it through his life. Which path are you gonna take?
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? Most people, they're gonna take the path where they see success. See, when you look at me, you hear my story, that's not success. That's failure. It's not only failure, but it's fear, because that's what I was living in. I was living in fear. You think that because you're out there, you're carrying a gun, or you committing crime, that's not living in fear, but it is, because you're afraid to be yourself. You're afraid to be successful. You're afraid because somebody else might ridicule you or criticize you for doing the right thing. So fear could be your number one enemy, but fear could also be your best friend. So we have to learn how to put fear in its proper context and use fear as a motivating tool, not a tool used to oppress people or to hurt or harm people, but to understand ourselves and why we have this fear, why we afraid.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's real, brother. Usually, you know, I ask brothers to reflect that question on themselves, but you know what I'm saying, with your insight, I want you to direct that to, you know, exactly to those, you know what I mean, to the youth, man. I wanna I guess I'll ask you one last question before we sign off because we already at 25. If you had one thing, right, that you could that you know, because I know everything that you have is in your cell, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that you could only take one thing out of your cell. One thing. What's the most important?
You have
thing
1
in your
minute
cell?
left.
The most important thing in your cell.
Love, man.
Okay. Okay. So
Take me. You know, because wherever I tell people, wherever I go, that's where I'm gonna be.
you're attached to nothing.
Yeah, so I take myself.
Yo, I thank you, man. I appreciate you tapping in. It was great to talk to you, man. We're gonna put this out there. You gonna keep in contact, man, too. And like I said, be opening the floodgates. We giving a voice. So just give your last words, man. Any shout out to anything before your time goes.
I want to shout out my sisters, sister Mieka, my little sister Chuki. You know, all the peoples out there that's listening. It's never too late, man, and I'm an example of that. Hopefully.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Peace.
I know what it is. Till next time, next episode. Tap in, tune in. Peace, y'all. Seeing on network. Let's go.
A prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number for thank you for using Securus.
FREETHEMEN,
You may start the conversation now.
Yeah. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the wind. Then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men.